I'm going to speculate in an effort to open a dialogue within our community. Please bear with me. There is an even bigger picture here. These people are getting this directly from the Nazi playbook. Vilify a long-reviled minority and persecute them to the point of genocide. The Nazis even started with the LGBT community. The crimes committed will subjugate a population with ignorance, complicity, and guilt. It will also serve as an example to any dissidents. Okay, so why are they doing this? Let's avoid any tendency to spout conspiracy theories. I won't offer any suggestions as to intent here. I'm sure an honest survey of those who oppose us would turn up a multitude of personal reasons, from religious beliefs to xenophobia to latent homosexuality. The Nazi takeover of Germany had any number of causes, but behind it all was the need for resources. Kropotkin called it the conquest of bread. Many are not aware that we currently face a similar crisis of resources now on a global scale. I was a geologist, a scientist with decades of experience. For over 20 years, I've been shouting about a confluence of crises: overpopulation, climate change, mass extinction, and many others, a dilapidated and inadequate infrastructure. Within the next couple of decades, we will feel the problems of resource depletion and environmental destruction and economic contraction written large across the entire planet. Over the last 2 or more decades, we have seen the abrogation and consolidation of wealth to 1% of the population, while the rest of us suffer from growing stagflation. Could this current attack on transgender people be a ruse to tie the remaining population under a repressive system of totalitarian, aristocratic fascism? I'll not offer an answer to this question. As a scientist, I find that conspiracy theories tend to rub me against the grain. Anyway, they seem to be the provenance of right-wing reactionaries. I will tell you that over 20 years ago, I spoke of 3 potential outcomes to this confluence of crises. 1, a descent into a militaristic police state where a few control the resources while the vast majority must do without. 2, a techno-fix. This situation will most likely lead to option 1 anyway. And 3, the revitalization of the local community and the application of decentralized technologies. The fast approaching confluence of crises are all symptoms of a single underlying problem: the perception of duality and ignorance underlying this perception. We conceptualize a world of the subjective and the objective, self and non-self. It is this conceptualization of duality that allows us to manipulate and abuse anything we perceive as separate from self. In a way, this duality was necessary for the development of civilization, science, and art. It is the development of ego identity. It was necessary to the evolution of civilized humanity. Now, however, this conceptual evolution has played itself out to the limits of its own shortcomings. The perception of duality and self-intent has led us to terminally exploit this planet, other living creatures, and our fellow human beings. We will fight each other playing king of the mountain without realizing that the entire mountain is eroding under our feet. Or we can step out of our limiting conception of duality. LGBTIA+ is ultimately an evolution of equality, inclusion, and acceptance or kinship. It is an evolution beyond duality, in line with the cutting edge of science. The only thing separating self from non-self is our own limited perception of duality. There is no place where self ends and non-self begins. We think of our identity as limited to this physical body, but the boundary of the skin. Yet the skin is not a boundary, but a communicative interface. Beyond the body, defined by our skin, there is the exchange of matter, food and excretion, water and air. There is our biochemical body, which extends far beyond our perceived physical form. There is our electromagnetic body, which extends around us, an electromagnetic torus that eventually gradates into the electromagnetic body of our community and environment, couched within the electromagnetic field of this planet, this solar system, which is couched within the electromagnetic field of our galaxy, like a set of Russian eggs, until the entirety of physical existence is couched within the electromagnetic field of the universe. And let us no longer ignore the implications of quantum physics, which suggests that all matter is the collapse of a probability field due to the influence of conscious observation. There is no self other than an artifice of perception. The ancient seers seem to be correct. All is one. It is our own ignorance that defines us. I see the LGBTIA community as a part of the new evolution beyond the constricting limitations of duality. Could this be the true reason why the ignorant and those who have benefited the most from the exploitation want to see us exterminated? If so, then we are the future of humanity, stepping beyond our long-standing conceptual limitations. As such, could we represent the solution of the confluence of crises? In that case, it is small wonder that those who benefit most from, as well as those most deluded by, our ignorant conception of duality would seek to exterminate us. If this is so, then we need to stand our ground. Yet our stance must be inclusive, taking pity on those who suffer most from their own limited conception. We must be open-hearted, welcoming all without judgment, recognizing all as inextricably interwoven with ourselves, seeing all existence as the facets of a diamond, a rainbow community of one. So what are your thoughts?